evening. Welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Subhajangklin Swan. The expression drowning in paperwork nearly became a reality in Parliament today when opposition Democrat MPs started throwing documents at the House Speaker, accusing him of being biased in favor of the government as the 4 reconciliation bills are about to be voted an urgent matter and thus speeding up its passage into law. This is the moment when dissatisfied opposition Democrat MPs started throwing papers at Somsak Suranont. They claim Somsak sided with the government and abused his authority as chairman of the meeting to cut short opposition time. In the end, a majority of the House voted to promote the 4 bills on national reconciliation for deliberation tomorrow as an urgent matter. The Democrats had earlier walked out of the meeting when a majority of the chairmen of the 35 House standing committees agreed that the proposed reconciliation bills were not money-related, as claimed by the opposition. According to law, if proposed bills concern money-related issues, the Prime Minister of the day must endorse them prior House consideration. The Democrat MPs claim the bills are related to money issues since, if passed, the government would be returning the 46 billion baht confiscated money from Thaksin Shinawatra. Abhisit Wechachiwa, Democrat Party leader, insisted that he and his party will not apologize for what happened yesterday and today, as he sees that there is a need to stop laws being passed which will damage the country. The opposition will now call for the impeachment of the House Speaker. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow is the scheduled time for MPs to vote for or against the reconciliation bills. Meanwhile, outside Parliament's gates, the People's Alliance for Democracy and other protesters are rallying for the second day to express their opposition to the reconciliation bill. And there are unconfirmed rumors that they may attempt to force their way into the Parliament building tomorrow if the bill proceeds to House consideration. Banthe Pongpuapan, spokesperson of the People's Alliance for Democracy, or Yellow Shirt protesters, are asking their supporters to bring food, water, and a piece of cloth to protest tomorrow. This may be an indication that they may be preparing to face tear gas if they attempt to climb over Parliament's walls to intensify their protest against the proposed reconciliation bill. The last time the PAD forced themselves into Parliament was during Somchai Wongsawat's government in October 2008, when they seized Government House and both of Bangkok's international airports in the same year. Earlier today, the PAD submitted a letter to the House Speaker seeking permission for 200 of their representatives to enter Parliament to listen to the MPs debating whether to move the reconciliation bill for urgent consideration. The House Speaker allowed them to enter 50 at a time. There were reports, however, of some pro-government MPs calling red shirt supporters to gather at Parliament House tomorrow to support the reconciliation bill. The University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce claims that the latest rounds of political protests could potentially have a 10 billion baht negative impact on the Thai economy. A survey by the Economic and Business Forecast Unit at the University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce conducted before Yellow Shirt protesters began their most recent protests outside Parliament predicts that political protests will impact up to a third of everything we do on a daily basis. Many believe that political protests in 2012 will, should they develop past the point peaceful discussion, be more extreme than in 2011. Thanawat Ponvichai, director of the Economics Forecast Unit, believes that if the protests at Parliament do not turn violent and do not exceed 30 days, the economic impact on the Thai society will be limited to 1 to 3 billion baht. But if protests turn violent and exceed 3 months in duration, they could potentially cost the nation up to 10 billion baht. On day 3 of Aung San Suu Kyi's visit to Thailand, the lady once again went back to Mahachai to talk to the Sumut Prakan governor about how Burmese workers are treated and controlled in the area, while Deputy Prime Minister Chalerm Yubamrung promised working conditions of the migrant workers will improve. Here's more from Maninat on Panna.
Aung San Suu Kyi was back in Samut Sakhon and was greeted by Burmese workers, some of whom had been waiting for her for more than 4 hours. Local authorities informed the lady about the processes Burmese workers have to go through while they are working in the province. She told her fellow countrymen that Myanmar will soon develop and these workers will soon be able to return home. Some workers' passports have been confiscated while they work in Thailand, and some accommodation and working conditions are below standards. Suji met with the PM Chalerm Yubamrung, who said that the government will try its best to offer medical care to legal migrant workers in Thailand and will curb problems of Burmese workers being exploited in this country. Out of an estimate 2 million, less than half of Burmese workers are officially registered, while some 140,000 remain in refugee camps along the Thai border. This is Maninat Onpana, reporting for Thai PBS.
Thank you, Kuminat. Before and after her trip to meet Burmese nationals in Samut Sakhon, Aung San Suu Kyi has been making waves and attracting international attention by attending the World Economic Forum. That story and more from the WEF 2012 in Bangkok from Kun Rungtip Chotnapalai.
The World Economic Forum on East Asia kicked off today with an opening plenary on East Asia models for transforming the global economy. A panel of 4 agreed that although ASEAN plays a significant role in rebalancing the global economy, there remain challenges in the region and spurring a domestic consumption is crucial. Here's more from Kun Bandit Gerpandit.
If ASEAN were a single country, it would be the world's 9th largest economy. Despite its robust growth, which is expected to exceed 5% this year, Paskalami, Director General of the World Trade Organization, or WTO, expressed concerns that the region's immunity to the world economic downturn will not last forever, because ASEAN economies rely heavily on external forces, such as export-led growth. ASEAN will start to feel the impact of what is happening in the US and Europe in the next 2 to 3 years. The need to boost domestic consumption in ASEAN countries was a general consensus among the 4 panelists. Kittirat Naranong, Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, stressed the importance of stimulating domestic purchasing power so that ASEAN members can help spur regional trade and rebalance the global economy from within. Other region-centric challenges are also facing ASEAN. Aswar Prasad, professor at Cornell University, observed that increased uncertainties and volatility in commodity prices, as well as capital flows, may stifle growth. To overcome these obstacles, the ASEAN countries have to establish a sound risk management strategy, spur domestic development, and foster greater regional integration through an integrated supply chain and pooling of national reserves to buffer the region's economic stability. As ASEAN countries have widely varying degrees of GDP per capita, with some countries earning barely $1,000 while others exceed 40,000, Indonesia's Minister of Trade said that a common currency is not needed. Probably more important, he believes, ASEAN countries need to have firm leadership at the top and to suppress corruption for a sustainable development. This is Bandit Kat Bandit, Thai PBS.
As a theme shaping the region's future through connectivity, business and political leaders from all over the world had attended the World Economic Forum today here in Bangkok as the world sees East Asia as the potential star of the global economy. Here's more from Kun Kankorn Raktham.
Among the economic crises across the globe, the East Asian region is, conversely, becoming one of the potential stars of the global economy. And the highlight of this year's forum is the economic integration of ASEAN Economic Community, due to become a reality in 2015. Surin Pisawan, Secretary General of ASEAN, said that recently the ASEAN region had become one of the most attractive places for foreign investors to run business when compared to other parts of the world which are currently facing economic crisis.
So therefore, the World Economic Forum agrees that this is a big issue for ASEAN. We need infrastructure. In the next 10 years, the entire East Asia will need $800 billion for infrastructure alone. But infrastructure itself is not enough. road, rail, shipping, telecommunication, not enough to connect the region. You need to also have common standards, common qualities, and you have to have institutions working with each other.
Meanwhile, Ponsin Pacharintanakul, Vice Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, said that at the forum, there are many sessions which are beneficial to Thailand's service and food sectors. He also suggested that the authorities need to learn from other countries and come up with better policies.
One or two or three. Number one is gathering of head of states, head of businesses. Thailand will be exposed to the world, and now we accepted that Thailand is one of the developing countries that will be leading in the economic sense.
The World Economic Forum on East Asia 2012 aims to enhance regional cooperation and connectivity, while the world awaiting the economic integration of ASEAN in 2015, making the AEC the world's 10th largest economy. การกรรักธรรม Thai PBS.
Earlier, I spoke to Dr. Anontsnitwong, Executive Director of the Geoinformatics and Space Technology Development Agency, about Thailand's flood prevention strategy.
Was to increase the capacity of the local communities through accessibility of informations, not just only satellite images, but all kind of informations, early warning, evacuation routes, and others that could be very helpful to them. At the moment, at the national level, we of course we have a lot of data, but to transfer those data to the users in an effective way is still quite a big problem. The other issues that we discuss is about insurance industry. Of course, the Thai insurance industry has already been aware and very cautious about on how to proceed in the future.
Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar's opposition leader, has become the highlight of the World Economic Forum on East Asia. Suu Kyi was given a lot of attention by the participants as well as the international media. Suu Kyi was scheduled to give a speech tomorrow called One-on-One Conversation with a Leader.
Thank you, Kun Rungtip. Related to World No Tobacco Day, figures show that in the past 3 years, Thailand saw 600,000 more new smokers, partly due to the fact that illegal non-tax cigarettes sold at 25 baht a pack are continuously being smuggled in Thailand. Here's more from Hugh Adams.
Taxed cigarettes sold in Thailand range from 50 baht to 80 baht for 20. However, illegal non-taxed cigarettes selling for only 25 baht to 30 baht a pack continue to slip through the southern and eastern border checkpoints. This smuggling accounts for up to 10% of tobacco consumption in Thailand. Since 2009, 12,000 cases of illegal tobacco smuggling were sent to court. Figures from the Health Ministry show that since 2009, Thailand has seen 600,000 new smokers. The Action for Smoking and Health Foundation of Thailand, or ASH, and the World Health Organization, or WHO, agree it is time for Thailand to ban so-called corporate social responsibility events, which are organized by tobacco companies.
Thailand should be making laws and regulations against industry being allowed, they should not be allowed to advertise, to promote, to get involved in local events, and CSR, corporate social responsibility. So it's a matter of getting these kind of regulations in place and removing the loopholes.
Today, 12 million Thais smoke, and an average of 48,000 die of smoking-related diseases annually. Hugh Adams, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Hugh, and hopefully my baby brother has been watching that last news bit. This is Super Jong Klin Swan saying good night for now. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Sawadee krap.